Hello and welcome to this short video on our new paper, Gestation, Endowments and Knowledge Flows Around the Time of Venture Creation, published in Journal of Evolutionary Economics, and it's open access. I'm Alex Code from Waseda University in Tokyo.
Hi, my name is Masatoshi Kato. I'm from Kansei Gakuin University.
Hi, my name is Stefan Sırgı.
This paper focuses on the crucial distinction between endowments that are put together before birth and the capabilities of firms that are built in the period after birth. We start by considering a puzzle. Why do newborn babies lose weight in the days after birth? Weight loss is normally 7 to 8% of birth weight by the third day after birth among healthy, full-term, breastfed newborns. Why do healthy babies lose weight? Well, before birth, babies have accumulated a stock of fatty reserves in their bodies that we can call an endowment, and they draw down from this endowment after birth. During gestation, babies get their food automatically through the placenta and umbilical cord, but after birth they have to learn something new. They have to develop new capabilities to drink milk and swallow and digest it. These new capabilities take time to learn, and while they are learning, they draw down from their initial endowment. It's a similar idea for newborn startups. Age 0 is a unique time for firms. Firms suffer from a lack of reputation. They have no track record that is specific to the firm. There may be the reputation of the founder, but that's not the same thing. Founder level characteristics are different from firm level characteristics. Newborn firms have no routines that are specific to the nascent organization and no firm-specific legitimacy of their own. Employees have no tenure experience that specifically comes from working together at the new organization. A unique benefit of age 0, however, is that firms bring an initial endowment that they start depleting after birth. Dozy, Nelson and Winter provide a vivid account of what is meant by lack of tenure experience in the new workplace. Knowing the job involves knowing things that are relational, involving other participants, and organization specific. That is why the skilled operator still needs to learn the job when joining an unfamiliar organization to operate a familiar machine, and why someone who is a perfectly adequate machine operator might nevertheless fail to learn the job. We can put these ideas into the following graph. Firms are born with an endowment, E, that decreases in value in the time after entry. Here the endowment is shown to decrease with exponential decay, which seems like a reasonable assumption. However, firms build up new routines and capabilities, denoted here by the letter R, in the time after birth. They start with no firm-specific capabilities because the firm did not exist before, but these capabilities gradually accumulate. Adding these two curves together gives us the total value of the firm's knowledge, denoted by K. Note that the total value dips down in the period immediately after entry before rising. There may be theoretical interest in the time T star, which is where the firm's new capabilities become more important in survival terms compared to the initial endowment. This pattern is reminiscent of the phrase by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman, "Starting a company is like jumping off a cliff and assembling an airplane on the way down." Here the analogy would be that the height of the cliff is the amount of initial endowment that entrepreneurs start burning through after entry, and assembling an airplane is the accumulation of a viable set of new capabilities to maintain the new firm and prevent it from crashing into the ground. A strong airplane will allow the founders to rise higher than the height of the cliff, of course. It's also worth revisiting some popular notions about young firms being more innovative. Being young in itself is not a source of innovativeness. Being young is a state of vulnerability, lacking capabilities and routines that are specific to the new venture, and being dependent on drawing down an endowment transported from elsewhere. The true source of valuable innovativeness is the endowment, and this is not a consequence of youth but a cause of youth, because it is the promise of a large endowment that causes the entrepreneur to set up a new firm. Our paper makes the point that it is important to distinguish between endowments accumulated during gestation and firm-specific capabilities that are developed after birth. This table highlights confusion that may appear in the case of university spin-offs. In scenario A, the university grants intellectual property rights to faculty, and faculty declare their innovations before spinning off. The valuable knowledge appears as an endowment that is formed during the time before firm birth. Scenario B corresponds to a corporate spin-off where the firm wishes to keep all the intellectual property rights developed by its employees. In this case, the founders may avoid declaring their innovative idea until after starting up their new firm. In this case, efforts are made to make the innovative idea appear to have formed in the post-entry period. This could lead to the misleading and incorrect impression that corporate spin-offs have higher post-entry innovation than university spin-offs, when in fact the differences are simply due to changes in the timing of reporting. Scenario C differs from Scenario A because in Scenario C the university does not grant intellectual property rights to faculty. As such, faculty may only disclose their innovative idea after birth, which could lead to an incorrect interpretation that universities that withhold intellectual property rights are associated with higher rates of post-entry innovation. Comparing scenarios C and A, there is no fundamental difference in the innovative activity, but only in the formal recording of the timing of patenting activity, and this could give a misleading idea that strict control of intellectual property rights by universities is associated with better outcomes in terms of higher post-entry innovation by university spin-offs. Table 3 shows another case of possible bias and confusion between endowments from before birth and capabilities from after birth. Let's assume that entrepreneurs have little control over post-entry growth but can boost survival by starting with a larger endowment. Scenario D represents the case of a poor entrepreneur who brings one unit as an endowment and does not pay into their own firm after birth. Survival chances would be low because a small bit of bad luck could put the firm out of business. Scenario E is more fortunate. A wealthy entrepreneur starts with a richer endowment, which gives them a longer runway to get started, and therefore increases their survival chances. Post-entry growth might be no better than in the case of the poor entrepreneur in Scenario D, however. Scenario F relates to a wealthy entrepreneur who also makes post-entry investments. Scenario F is similar to Scenario E in terms of survival rates because they start with the security of a large endowment. Scenario F appears to have faster post-entry growth than Scenario E, but the resources accumulated after entry are actually just the initial endowment that the entrepreneur held back. Regarding the post-entry growth in Scenario F, this is merely a case of putting more money into the business that they already had at the start. This might look like post-entry growth, but it isn't. It is the endowment held back at the start and ploughed in after entry. That's it for today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.